Hey, what's up, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Hasbro Black Series Star Wars Clone Commander Gree. Now, this was a Toys R Us exclusive, but the packaging is basically what we're seeing with this new line of, Black Series. We got the black on red. We have the image of the character here. You got Star Wars. Got the Stormtrooper behind the clam there. On the one side, we just get the Clone Commander Gree. On the back, we do get a bit of a read-up along with the image. And on this side, we get no number with it being an exclusive. On the bottom, we got that. On the top, we got that. But yeah, let's crack this thing open and check them out. Okay, and here he is all out of the packaging along with his accessories. And overall, it's a cool looking Stormtrooper. I'm not the biggest fan of the helmet, but that's just my personal, preference. It's not I don't think it's the greatest looking, Stormtrooper that's out there. But I do like the army fatigue colors that are used in this. It's cool. It's different. I do like it. Unfortunately, this figure is very, very hindered in the articulation. It's pretty bad and pretty disappointing. But taking a closer look at him, it's pretty, I do like the sculpt and the paint work that he did on this. It is different. We get some nice green up here for the lenses, and the helmet's pretty clean and crisp. We got some nice white over here. So, I mean, it looks good, and I really like what they did with the shoulder pieces and kind of the middle here, giving it that, scratched, torn look. I do like that quite a bit. That does look really good. And we do get some kind of splashes of other colors in the torso armor. The belt, looks pretty good. Nice sculpting on it. We do got nice, that continued, army fatigue pattern on his gauntlets, along with some other little sculpting details in there. And then on this part of his armor as well. And then we get that kind of scratched, dirty, worn look on the knee pads. We do have a holster that's very, very plain. It's just basically, molded in that very kind of dull brown color. And we get some nice details on his backpack here, a little bit of sculpt work. So, I mean, it's definitely got some cool parts to him. He's got his little antenna sticking out the back here, which looks really cool. Does this pop off? Oh, okay, so the antenna pops off. Does this pop off? I don't want to pull on that. But, so that pops off. Oh, sorry about that. And we do get a little bit of texture here, like on the underside of his suit. And then coming down to his boots, it's pretty disappointing. It's just basically the molded gray. So it definitely makes it look off, looking at the figure. You're kind of drawn to that plainness when everything else on the figure is done so nice with, shadings and this and that. And you get down to his boots and it's just a very clean, plain gray. So not the biggest fan of that, but overall, it's not too bad looking. If you look over here on this side, and then again coming up the back, like I said, I do like these little shoulder pad parts. It could be a little bit more dirty right here. It is a little clean, but overall. But now, as far as the articulation in this guy, it's very, very hindered. The head, you get a little bit. Oh, so it's basically on a, there you go, you see that it's your standard like ball and hinge, but because of the sculpt, you just get a little bit of down, not up at all, you get rotation. So that was the first problem. And then because of these shoulder pads, I mean, they did it right by putting it on the arm instead of connecting it to here, but they're hard. It's not like a soft plastic, so it completely hinders. I mean, you can't move the arms up whatsoever at all. So that's very disappointing. You see, I kind of cranked on mine trying to see if maybe I could get it to tuck up underneath there, and I ended up just kind of bending it. So, I mean, you're not going to get any movement out of that hinge. The swivel, of course, swivels all the way around. We do have a bicep swivel. You do have double jointed elbows, which really only give you 90 degrees. So for it having two joints, that's not really that good. That keeps popping out, but that's, you do have a cut here in the torso, which really only gives you rotation. Because of the belt, even though it is a floating piece, I mean, you crash into it, everywhere you turn forward and back, you're crashing into it. So you get a little bit of movement side to side, forward and back, but you do get, 360-degree turn out of that. As far as the legs, they come out about that much. Going forward, again with the sculpt of the armor, it definitely only gives it that much range, and then you're hitting the back sculpt coming back. You do have a rotation. You have double jointed knees, which give you decent range, and look for decent because of the knee pad kind of covering that up. And then coming down to his feet, because of the way this sculpt goes down here, you don't get much back. You get a decent amount forward, and you do have a rocker in there. So, I mean, it's severely limited as far as articulation. And I mean, if they would have made these parts a little bit softer, I think it would have helped. But, man, this thing just keeps popping off every time now. But, overall, it's still a cool looking Stormtrooper. He does come with a few accessories. We get a blaster, which is basically pretty, plain Jane. It's got some sculpt work to it, but it's basically just, molded in the gray. He does hold on to it. Oh, his hands, of course, do swivel. His right hand has up and down hinge, and his left hand has, side to side hinge. But the gun is pretty plain and basic. But he does hold it okay, in his hand. And then he comes with the big kind of long blaster, which again he will hold okay, but again it's very plain, just basically no paint on it whatsoever, but you do get a little sculpting in it. And there's just no way, because of since we can't use this hinge very much, you get nice bicep, but there's just no way for him to get a double hand on this, so that's disappointing. And then he comes with this accessory, which, I really don't even know what this is. I'm guessing it's some kind of binoculars. At first I thought maybe it, plugged in here somehow, but that doesn't really seem like it wants to come out. So unless it's some kind of, binoculars, I honestly have no idea what this accessory is. But I mean, I guess he'll hold it for the most part, but you're not going to be able to get him in a pose that will allow you to really use this accessory effectively. But I mean, overall, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not bummed for picking it up, because I did like the overall look of it. It is different. This Stormtrooper is about a little over 5 3/4, a little under 6 inches. As far as some comparison, here is the Mafex Stormtrooper. So you see he's definitely a little bit shorter. I know Mafex is usually a little bit taller than our standard 6-inch scale. Here's a Black Series Han Solo. And here's the Black Series Darth Vader. This gives you a little bit of size comparison as far as what he's going to look like on the shelf. Darth Vader is on a stand, just so you know, so he is going to look a little bit taller. But that gives you a little bit of height comparison as far as what he's going to look like on the shelf. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is the Toys R Us exclusive Clone Commander Gree. Like I said, definitely hindered by articulation, but overall pretty cool. But yeah, that is the review, guys. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great night, and I'll catch you guys on the next figure review. Take care.